And we are back. Sorry for the delay. We were just waiting on a couple players. There was a little bit of miscommunication. But everyone's here, and we are able to get our first series underway between Rodney's Imaginary Friends and the Kirkland signature Muffins. I'm going to be struggling with that name the entire day. I can already see that happening right now. So like I said, Battlefield of Eternity, it is a map with 2 immortals, so being able to have a lot of neutral damage is very value here. Having someone like the Vala, Greymane, also super strong here, Li Ming, Raynor, though I have not really been seeing Raynor picked up. Raynor is a little bit of a basic character, so when the stats are lower than the other characters, just isn't really worth picking up, especially once you get to this higher level of gameplay, where just being able to have consistent lower skill damage coming out isn't quite as important. But anyway, first ban is going to be the Hanzo, so that's going to be the poke, kind of the poke DPS, getting banned away from Kirkland signature Muffins. Also getting rid of a little bit of the utility. Dragon Arrow able to engage from a pretty far distance. And Li Ming will get banned out for Rodney's Imaginary Friends. So like I said, Li Ming very good at taking down these immortals. And very safe at it too. So even if you're not really able to just walk up and defend your immortal, Li Ming is going to be able to get a lot of damage done to it. You can try blocking it, but it's either you taking a lot of damage or the immortal. And I don't think whoever would be piloting Li Ming would care too much. Now, Hogger's going to be the second ban for Rodney's. And Hogger's a very strong offlaner, very strong at fighting. Between the Hortipult, between the Shockwave, lots of value to be coming out of Hogger. A very fast clear towards those siege camps, able to take it pretty early. And solo, it gives a lot of value when you're playing that offlaner. And also very good in duels, so naturally would not expect to see them Kirkland signature Muffins. And the Vala does get banned out, as it is the first pick for Rodney's Imaginary Friends. So a lot of the really good immortal killers are out right now. There is still going to be Greymane. Raynor is available again. I don't expect Raynor to get picked up, and I'm sure there's others that I'm missing that are just not coming to my head right now. As Lucio will get picked up by Dr. Incho. And I was mentioning that earlier when talking about the best of 3. Dr. Incho's Lucio is extraordinary. Might be the best Lucio I've seen so far in the NGS. I'd even go as far as to say that. And I've noticed in their previous series, Lucio was banned 1 game, and that was the 1 game that Rodney's Imaginary Friends lost when they were going up against Fino and Nino.
Need a light.
And the 2 games that they won, Dr. Incho was on Lucio. And now Greymane and Blaze picked up by the signature Muffins. And Greymane very fast when it comes to killing that immortal. I don't expect them to have anyone else that will be able to DPS quite as quickly. Sylvanas very solid DPS, but when it comes to burning down this immortal, Greymane will definitely be able to outrace the Sylvanas. Now we see the Blaze for Jägermeister over into the offlane. Very solid pick. Or I should say, I presume it is the offlane. It very well could be a main tank Blaze. We have seen that time and time again. A bit of a flex pick when you pick up that Blaze. Gives you a little bit of opportunity to move around with your picks and bans. And Dahaka is going to get banned out. And they're still missing a lot of their characters, but I would suspect they would ban a healer here. And with Joanna Sylvanas, I think something like Anduin could be a really good ban here, with Blaze being able to just jump in as well. A Light Bomb could be scary to play into, and at the same time, without a strong engage, Anduin could be a pretty simple ban to get rid of. Just because when your engage is the shield toss from Joanna or the mind control from Sylvanas, having the Leap of Faith really does add a huge element of safety. But they do take out the Diablo instead. High HP tank. Kind of pretty decent into Joanna. I wouldn't say it's a counter, but it is a good pick. And you know what? I'm glad I mentioned what I said, because Artanis is going to be the offlaner. So Jägermeister will be playing the Blaze as the main tank this game. And Brightwing is getting picked up as the healer over for the side of Kirkland's signature Muffins. So now they are still missing one more DPS and their off laner. I'm not really sure what's good into Artanis. Maybe something like Sonya, but I think Artanis still wins into that. But Melthil will get picked up, and you know what? That is definitely the better pick. Blaze is high HP, Artanis is high HP, and Melthil can do everything from a distance. Artanis most likely won't be going the auto-attacking stack build. It is very unlikely, especially at the heroic division. But Artanis is also very good at bringing down the Immortal, and that's likely why they did go with the Artanis. Lots of DPS between the Greymane and Artanis, and very surprising final pick with the Lily, so double healer comp. And kind of single DPS with the Greymane, unless Artanis is also going to be played more or less as a DPS this game, and really Shoopuf will have to be able to bring out extra damage. The other option is they just do not go for the fights and they just go straight for the Immortals. Now the final pick with the Cassia, I have not yet talked about the Rhaegar, but will be very good into Artanis and Greymane as well, as they both rely on auto attacks. But anyway, let us get into game number 1 after the short message. And we are in game number 1. So far lanes seem more or less standard. Jägermeister will be going into the off lane. Thought I had chat disabled. Why does chat keep enabling itself? Get rid of chat.
The battle begins in 10 seconds.
Okay. And yeah, so we do see Melthil, Rodney, and Jägermeister already gearing up to go to the top side. And DH Bob will actually follow Jägermeister over to the top side. So I do want to see the clash here. Rodney just going to stay behind the gate. So not a lot of damage will be done. They will see it. As Rhaegar is going to be starting to throw out those Lightning Furies up into the wall. A really fast way to take down the walls. Place at the right angle. It will hit all 3. And they do have the swap into Rhaegar. And Rhaegar has to dash away. Very low HP. Dr. Intra will be able to pull him away. But that is still 80% of Rhaegar's HP gone right off the start, as the fight is breaking out top. Snarfungus and Rodney both trying to push out this wave. I believe the sound is a little bit too laggy. Give me a second. I don't know what happened, but they seem to have kind of changed my settings. Sparklark will jump in and cancel the phase shift. Mundane Zebra, very low HP. A little bit of wall attacks coming out from Dr. Intra, but not a lot of DPS so there overall. Shoopuf will also be getting hit. And as we do see, it is going to be... it's not going to be the racing build coming out from the Artanis, but we do have some fighting going on. Shoopuf running in, able to get the swap onto Rhaegar. Shoopuf still standing in the front line, trying to tank for his team. And I've been getting baited left and right. Shoopuf will be the main tank on the Artanis. And they did go with the reactive parry, damaging enemy heroes. Grants 50 physical armor against the next enemy hero basic attack. And with him kind of needing to, with Shoopuf needing to take that frontline role, it is a good talent to take here. We'll be able to keep that HP bar kind of higher up, just overall get a lot more value out of it. But so far, still going to take a lot of damage. Rhaegar, Moon's going to be using the phase shift to heal Shoopuf up a little bit. They should check the ability names. That is the phase prism. The siege camp is started up. It is 4v3 down here, so they should be able to just get this for free, as Jägermeister will be starting up on the one on the top side. DH Bob just kind of trying to delay while Rodney shoves in the wave. And Rodney looking to jump over. No, never mind, just jumping on a Bob. But in the meanwhile, there's fighting going on back here, as Mundane Zero's on the wrong side of the map and does get picked up. First blood going over to Rodney's imaginary friends. Lots of DPS going back and forth now, and we do see DH Bob is coming down, so going to be a 4-on-4 again, as the blind by Rhaegar hits onto everyone, and Shoopuf is trying to jump in, but that's a lot of damage going back and forth, and Starfungus not going to be phase prismed by Shoopuf. Very close attempt though. Rhaegar will be, however there is no damage follow-up, and with the siege camp kind of hitting onto the backside as well. they will be able to just clear this out. Mundane Zebra now starting onto that Bruiser camp. And I think it's important to mention, with the Immortal spawning right now, there is no talent advantage for either side. Both teams are on level 5. But we do see the invade coming in. Rodney and Sparklark are really fighting for this, and it's a full-blown team fight now. Mundane Zebra, 100 HP, 18 HP, and will burn down to the Melthiel. Shupov tries to go in and is able to get the swap, but will get blinded, so not a lot of DPS able to be brought out. They are able to steal the Bruiser camp, but in the meanwhile, the team fight is still going in their favor. Everyone is on very low HP, but just barely not enough DPS. Moon and DH Ball with a double healer are able to keep everyone else alive, but they still lose a Bruiser camp, and they still lose their Greymane. And on top of that, they also lose their positioning over onto this Immortal. And Ravar and Snarfungus are able to absolutely destroy it. Already half time. It is now going to be 5v5 back on the map. We do see DH, Bob, and Rodney in the top side. Jägermeister and Sparklark. The Jägermeister is low. Just kind of trading over on the opposite side of the map. Sparklark just trying, Shupov just trying to be a little bit of a pain. Delay this racing while Mundane Zebra is attacking. And that's kind of what their team composition is built to do. The Greymane will be the one providing the DPS for this racing, while they intend on just kind of keeping the other team from hitting onto their Immortal. But they are still able to get a lot of damage. Dr. Intro has never stopped hitting on it. And while it's only Lucio damage, it is adding up. And Melty also burning it down. And with that, the Immortal does go down, but the fight is also starting to come up. Rodney able to hit onto 3 with all of the abilities. The Health Orbs are coming out, but they're not able to walk into them. Will get position out. So 2 of the Health Orbs going towards the side of Kirkland signature Muffins. But the Immortal will be going for Rodney's imaginary friends as they ding level 7. Level 7 is also hit by the signature Muffins. They were able to get that talent as the Immortal is starting to hit over onto their towers. But on the opposite side of the map, they are bringing in 4 teammates, slowly but surely getting ready for it. So they're just going to be using Sparklark. Sparklark's going to be on their own. They're going to be okay. It is the Joanna, very hard to lock down. And the wall will go down along with a couple hits onto the enemy fort. The Black Arrows, meanwhile, will be deployed in the bot lane. And they're just going to take both of the walls. And also, oh, they do get the Prism swap. But unfortunately, there is the wall. There's a Shupov not able to take Ravar over the wall. And honestly, that might have even been the difference maker in terms of the kill. Trying once again, but not able to get it. But as I was saying, they're just content taking down both the top and the bot side wall. Siege Camp is picked up by Mundane Zebra. But now Mundane Zebra is going to be fighting against this Melthiel and this Joanna blinded. Lots of damage going over, and Rodney jumps back in just to get that little bit of extra DPS. Slowly burning down. DH Bob is throwing the potions over. Ravar misses with the Lightning Fury, just slightly off to the side. We'll get the blind on DH Bob, and DH Bob will blow up. But in the meanwhile, Rodney also gets blown up. Ravar is starting to get low. Oil Slick on top, and Shupov trying to keep him. But we do have the extra healing coming out from Dr. Intro, and Sparklark trying to cancel it. And Ravar getting away on 60 health. As Snarfungus also now caught, but will be able to jump away. But no, the Polymorph gets out in time, and Snarfungus will go down. And Kirkland signature Muffins able to get 2 kills for themselves in that play. 2 for 1 trade overall. And just like that, they've gotten themselves the XP lead. There is a lot of XP to be caught by Sparklark. So overall, the game is even. And Mundane Zebra will also start onto the siege camp over in this bottom lane. DH Bob walking in, gonna top up Mundane Zebra. Did take a lot of damage in the last couple fights. And the Bruiser camp will be taken by Rodney's imaginary friends. Both sides getting very close to that level 10. We see Rodney trying to keep the top lane shoved out. Jägermeister trying to be a pain, but Snarfungus just gonna poke Jägermeister away. Bruiser camp is now going to finish up before they were able to start the contest. Mundane Zebra already starting on that Immortal, and we see both sides now starting to fight onto both these Immortals. There is a fight going on both sides of this map, but we're going to focus over on the Shupov. Shupov is getting taken down. Moon also going to be hit in the backline. Rodney trying to DPS as much as possible. Rain of Vengeance over on the 3. Bunker will come out. Both sides are now level 10. Moon gets pulled in, and Rodney and everyone's just jumping on top. Jägermeister also very low, able to get cleansed by DH Bob, but still getting chased down. Oil Slick will buy some time. Dr. Intro trying to use that speed boost, but that's not enough. But they are able to win the team fight over on the side of Rodney's imaginary friends, and that's 2 team fights in a row for the Immortals that they're just able to outplay and come out on top. The DPS will be a little bit slow towards this. Oh, but in the meanwhile, I should point out the Bruiser camp almost took down that top lane fort. as halftime is reached. Now it's going to be kind of a bit of a neutral spot here. The Immortals are not going on to opposite sides of the map or anything like that. DH Bob is getting hit by a lot, able to bring out that Dragon Strike, and a lot of other abilities kind of getting thrown out. They do have the laser going through over on the team. Shoepuff using everything. Jägermeister kind of in the middle of the team. The Lightning Ball does come out, bounces up a little bit back and forth, and they do get the big jump onto the Greymane, and the Greymane is dead. Moon also getting killed in the back line. And Shoepuff also no HP left. DH Bob trying to survive. Black arrows will disable the fort, so there is no safety here. You're going to have to keep running all the way back. Jägermeister will be able to use the jet propulsion and the bunker. And both sides should be okay for now. Jägermeister, no healing, will have to stand in the burning oil slick. As DH Bob does get picked up by Snarfungus, but Snarfungus does go down to the fort. And Jägermeister still low HP and will get finished off as well. And we see in the meanwhile, Rodney has not stopped DPSing onto this Immortal. And the bottom fort will also go down, and just a lot of plays, one after the other, favoring Rodney's imaginary friends. Really well played. But Ravar does get pulled in and polymorphed over by Moon. Do they have the damage to finish off Ravar? Will get the slow. Ravar trying to dodge as much as possible. The blind does come out, but just a little bit too late. Shoepuff and Mundane Zebra able to finish that off. The Immortal just needs a few more hits over by Rodney, and that will go down. So the Immortal will go over for the side of Rodney's imaginary friends. Sparklark just kind of standing on top of Mundane Zebra. Neither side can really hurt the other right now. The tank is too tanky, and both sides have their healer next to them, so nothing's really going to end up happening here. As the Bruiser Camp is taken down by DH Bob and Shoepuff, and the Immortal has already spawned over on the top side. I think we can safely say this fort is not going to survive. 334 HP. How many hits will it take? Just the one. Now, how much more can they get out of this? They will have the Bruiser Camp kind of delay Rodney's imaginary friends, but the Immortal will still land over on the walls. Able to get a little bit of explosions, but only onto the walls and the gates, nothing onto the cannon towers, as they do get a decent amount of poke onto them. A bunker has to be used just for safety. Let's start for the Leeming Ultimate, the Water Dragon, sorry. I was just calling it the Dragon Strike, which is Hans's ability. But they're able to get the wall, and they're able to get a decent bit of damage over onto this keep. About a quarter of its health is just gone. As they instantly are able to move, and they're going to pick up the siege count. Now still, once again, no talent advantage. They did have a talent advantage to being part of that play, but in the meanwhile, Rodney is kind of getting caught. Will try to run away, has a lot of DPS, and will get pulled back by Shoepuff, so no escape there. Rodney caught out a little bit, but doesn't really matter right now. There's no objectives up. That should let Kirkland Signature Muffins take this siege camp if they try to go for that. But they might have been able to just take that anyway, so no harm, no foul. Just a little bit of XP going over for the side of Kirkland Signature Muffins. But they do slowly close this XP gap. But Moon gets jumped on. Dr. Intro and Snarfungus able to deal so much damage. They're able to tank through, and they're going to be contesting this anyway. Lightning Ball and the Blind coming in. Everyone is super low HP. Shoepuff trying to stand on this objective, but they're not going to be able to get that either. And that's going to be 4 kills over towards Rodney's imaginary friends. And that's the level 16 talents coming in. 4 are dead. How much can they get off of this? It's still not super late into the game, so it is only 30 seconds. There does look like they're going to try to take this bot side wall. Going top will take a little bit too long, as Ravar's Lightning Fury is currently at 64 stacks with the Thunderstroke. They're going to use the black arrows to disable this entire wall. They'll be able to finish that off, and they do try to get a little bit of damage onto the keep, but no, they decide against that. They're going to run back and start collecting the Immortal, as we do see Rodney is finishing off the Bruiser Camp at the exact same time. So they will be able to use that Bruiser Camp for pressure. Oops, sorry. As Shoepuff tried to go in, but Snarfungus, very good use of the wave. DH Bob throwing out the blinds. Jägermeister kind of in the middle, just hitting onto Sparklark for now. No engage coming out from either side. Both sides just content to letting the status quo be maintained. But it is important to note, Rodney's imaginary friends do have the talent advantage. They do have 16. And DH Bob on his own. And DH Bob is just going to go down. Phase Shift was tried to be used, but they don't come out in time. That might have even been for the best. But now all of that damage just done onto this Joanna, able to keep him alive. But in the meanwhile, the shield toss onto everyone. Lightning Ball, Moon, very low HP. Artanis in the meanwhile dies off screen. Same with the Greymane. Moon, still no health left, just a little bit more DPS, and they're not able to get it. Or will they? No, the Rodney's final ability will land. And that's going to be another 4-0 for Rodney's imaginary friends. And they are having an incredible showing for this game 1. Sparklark and Dr. Incho going to be hitting the keep. But we'll have to back up. They only got it to quarter HP. But the Immortal is dead. So with that, they're going to have the Immortal push over the top side. For Kirkland Signature Muffins, they're still okay. Yes, they lost the Immortal. And yes, they're behind a few levels. But with the timing of this Immortal, they are going to be able to hit 16. So they're not going to be at a talent disadvantage. And Sparklark just getting zoned off by DH Bob, asking the Lily to stop bully. Both teams definitely having a little bit of fun here. A beatbox coming in, and the pull does go off, and that's a lot of damage dealt onto Rodney. Half HP already. Sparklark forced down to the front. Water Dragon will get cleansed off. But with that, they were able to zone them away from the Immortal. They're going to be able to just kind of freely DPS, at least for a couple seconds. And even those couple seconds can be quite important. But Sparklark and Snarfungus, using the black arrows, will take over this bot side wall. And the top keep will also go down. So both keeps now taken down for the side of Rodney's imaginary friends. And next push could be the GG push if they're able to win it just fast enough. And welcome everyone that was watching the Sound 51 stream. We are currently in game number 1 between Rodney's imaginary friends and Kirkland Signature Muffins. Currently 0-0, but both keeps just finished off by Rodney's imaginary friends. Still possible to come back. Kirkland Signature Muffins are behind, but they have kept their composure. Just been struggling a little bit over in the team fighting. Now Rodney, 77, gonna be stealing over the Bruiser camp, and the rest of the team will show up trying to finish that off. And I wonder if they're considering trying to fight off in the back. But Sparklark kind of caught in the middle of the wrong team. Does get hit with a cursed bullet. And lots of damage going on. Sparklark is unstoppable. Is able to get away. And the bunker is coming out in the meanwhile. Shopov taking a lot of damage. They do have the laser coming through. No kills able to be dealt. And that was a little bit unfortunate for Kirkland Signature Muffins. Right now, they kind of really needed that win. That was their last fight for the next little while, but they were on even talents. Level 20 is going to be coming out really soon for Rodney's imaginary friends. And this is going to be their timing. 2.5 level lead, and with the Immortal spawning, they can just utilize this level 20 to take this Immortal and push to end. Shupov is walking in. They need to get this fight. They need to get this pick. If they're not able to get it. Lots of damage over on his Snarfungus. And Dr. Intro kind of caught, but is able to run away just in time. Lots of damage on the Moon. Moon and DH Bob taking so much DPS. Facial going to be used to heal up DH Bob. Both of the healers are able to keep each other alive, but still, the fight is not going in their favor. So much DPS. Lightning Ball does come crashing right back down. And it keeps passing. Mountain Zebra and Moon both going down. And now Shupov also in the middle of everyone, but the ultimate finished off by Melthiel. And that's going to be another kill by Rodney, and it's a 5-on-2 left. And DH Bob, it doesn't seem like they even want to let those two stay alive. Snarfungus will disable that that tower as they get onto the core. And in the meanwhile, Jägermeister and DH Bob both trying to fight. And DH Bob going to get finished off, and Jägermeister also gets blinded. Just a little bit of HP and is running for his life. Jägermeister knows this game is over. Rodney's imaginary friends able to get a convincing game number 1 as they slowly but surely finish off the DPS with this core. They are trying to pad their stats, but no, it is not going to live. Rodney's imaginary friends takes game number 1. And what an amazing game number 1. I expected this to be a pretty close series, slightly favoring Kirkland Signature Muffins. They are higher ranked, but I did notice that in their last series for Rodney's imaginary friends, they were able to get a lot of push going into Fino Nino, and they were able to beat them. But it seems they've continued practicing because right now, this team looks strong. This team looks good. Kirkland Signature Muffins, I think they struggled a little bit with their draft. I'm assuming their draft plan was to try and win the race with the Immortals. With Artanis and Greymane, they should have been able to kill it pretty quickly. But they got it picked off a couple times early, and it's a very difficult composition to play after that. For Game 2, I would like to see them pick something a little bit easier to execute. But anyway, we will be back soon. Before we go over to a short break, I would like to thank AFK Journey for sponsoring this stream. Download AFK Journey now, and just even installing it helps me out a lot. And the more people do it, the more I will cast. I'm very happy to be a part of this group of people and part of NGS, and I look forward to continuing casting even more games. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back for Game 2 right after this. All right, and we are getting ready for game number 2. Now, I would like to throw out a quick PSA. There is a bit of a bug right now on Twitch. The ads manager is not working correctly. I always try to run ads between games, so to make sure there's no pre-rolls and to make sure there's no ads happening during games. But right now, it's not able to cancel their standard scheduled ads. That is an issue on the side of Twitch. So if you get an ad during the game, I very much apologize. I will create a ticket with them, but nothing I can do about that today. So please be patient and know that it is not me. But anyway, getting into game number 2 between Rodney's Imaginary Friends and Kirkland's Signature Muffins. Map 2 is going to be Garden of Terror, and all the bands are already out. We have Lucio, Joanna, Hogger, Sergeant Hammer, and Jägermeister instantly picks up that Dahaka. And Garden of Terror is a massive map. Having that global pressure from Dahaka goes a very long way. Able to turn moments from 4v5s or 4v4s into a 5v4 very quickly without really losing too much pressure on the map. As Blaze and Brightwing are picked up, they are drafting very quickly, but I will go back to the bands a little bit. The Dr. Incho Lucio, they're not letting Dr. Incho play that more than once. As you know, Dr. Incho is an absolute terror on that Lucio, and I'm yet to see Dr. Incho lose on that character. However, that Lucio, off of that Lucio, I have seen Dr. Incho be mortal. Blaze will be picked up by Rodney, so probably going into the off lane. And then Hanzo Anduin picked up for the Signature Muffins. So pretty standard composition so far. I'm not really seeing anything that absolutely changes the game or how everyone's going to be playing. So I am looking forward to seeing if both sides are just going to go with standard compositions or if they're going to be trying to do something a little bit more creative, kind of like we saw last game from the side of the Signature Muffins, where they did go the double healer, double bruiser composition. Junkrat will be the final ban for Rodney's Imaginary Friends. And the tanks are still all available. Neither side has picked anyone, and there's still a lot of very high priority tanks. Anubrak is banned out, but Diablo's still available, but so is Garrosh. So it is kind of scary to pick the Diablo on this phase for Rodney's, because it's very difficult to play into a Garrosh. So if they're not planning on going for the Diablo, they could pick their tank now. But unfortunately, that would also enable the Diablo to be picked from Kirkland's Signature Muffins. But they decide to blind pick it anyway. And the Genji picked as well. And that Genji pick is kind of a double entendre, because on one hand, they're able to get the Genji for themselves. And the other issue is a light bomb combo with Genji is very difficult to play into. It is very scary to play against. So by picking the Genji, they're also able to remove it from the Signature Muffins. We do see, we are waiting for probably a tank and a DPS as the final 2 picks here. Arthas will get picked, and the Imperious. So once again, running double bruiser, but this time with an extra tank instead of a healer. And they're going to have an absolutely massive front line. Dahaka, Arthas, Imperious, all 3 have really high HP bars. And Jaina will be the final pick for Rodney's Imaginary Friends. And Jaina is pretty safe, long distance poke, and a lot of control. And one thing they are missing over on Kirkland's Signature Muffins is they don't really have hard engage. So I think this Jaina is a very, very strong pick here. But now, let's get ready to get into game number 2. Right after this short message.
Shortly, heroes.
All right, and we are now into game number 2. And this is going to be a pretty interesting map to play on Garden of Terror. Very large map, so there's going to be a lot of value coming out from the Brightwing, from the Dahaka. Lots of globals just going on. And then at the same time, Genji's able to jump over walls, able to have that long-range dash. So even dismounted, this Genji's going to be very mobile and very annoying to deal with during fights. They don't really have... well, they don't have any point-and-click stuns. They don't have a lot of auto attacks. So I do suspect Rayvar, if positioning properly, should be able to get a lot of DPS out of it. As Jet Propulsion started immediately, but runs into the root, will protect themselves. And Bob, starting at very low HP, Leap of Faith, used by Moon to keep DH Bob alive. And another Jet Propulsion, Rodney just being very aggressive. Will also get stunned into everyone. Mundane Zebra taken down very low, and that's going to be first blood going over for the side of Rodney's imaginary friends. And DH Bob also going to get hit into the wall, and once again stunned, and so much DPS that that's going to be 2 kills right away for Rodney's imaginary friends. And that's definitely what you want to see when you first group up into the mid lane. You want to get that double kill and get that solid advantage. Rodney will miss a couple minions up top, but that's really it. Very much worth the trade. So now they're going to send 4 on the side of Rodney's imaginary friends over to the bot lane. And they're kind of just going to shove everything out as far as they can. I think they're going to start trying to poke onto this wall. And Moon actually taking a lot of DPS. And Rayvar even jumps in and is able to get the kill on that with that Genji. And not really respecting the fact that they were kind of short-handed there. And the Anduin will pay the price for it. Mending Zebra will start on the siege cap. And we see Rayvar and Sparklark and Snarfungus get started on their camps as well. So a little bit of a, well, I mean 3-0 kill advantage right now for Rodney's imaginary friends, as the pause does come out. So this will let us kind of pick up onto the remake. Dog is in the oven. I am just as confused as all of you are. This is also the only information I have. And why is the chat disable not working? Now, don't get me wrong. I like having chat and all that in games. But for some reason, it's not really being taken down. Alright, I guess I might have to do that in one of my settings, but... okay, whatever. We'll see. That is all chat coming out. I think Jägermeister was cooking something and forgot about it in the oven. So should be getting into game soon. Oh, I'm not allowed to type in this chat? Oh, I'm not. Oh, they cannot actually hear me. Well, now you know this was my first ever pause in a Hotscast, but we're back, and that's what matters. Siege Camp is going to get picked up over by the side of the signature Muffins. And Spark will finish off this camp. I'm sorry, they're just really funny in the chat. Luckily for them, I was ready. I am always ready. Control-Shift-C. Ah, interesting. Thank you very much, the sound. But yeah, they're going to clear out this the siege camp. Both sides going to have theirs over towards mid. And both just going to be used really for the XP of clearing it more than any pressure that they're able to output. First seed is spawning into the bot side. Over on the side of Kirkland Signature's Muffins. It'll be on their side of the map. They do get the root, but not able to get too much with that. Celestial Charge is going to be used, but now with the Overpower and the Shadow Charge, going to take Mundane Zebra down very low, and just a lot of DPS coming out. Moon trying to keep Mundane Zebra alive, but it's still 4-on-3. Celestial Charge is going to come in. Snarfungus is starting to get pretty low too. Mundane Zebra is able to survive. Jet Propulsion used, but they're able to get the drag on a Sparklark, and Sparklark is going to go down. And that's going to be a kill over to Kirkland Signature Muffins. And that's very good timing for the kill as well. Shoe Puff able to take down this entire bot wall with the help of their siege camp. And also going to get started onto this fort. And there's still no reply. Snarfungus will be the first one over there, but they're going to get more than half of the health of this fort before Snarfungus is able to reply. And now they will be able to zone them away, but the damage is done. And the first seed was picked up off screen by the Signature Muffins. As it continues sieging onto the Sparklark is over on the side and will knock Mundane Zebra in, and then the Overpower to kind of keep him under the fort. So good positioning by Sparklark to be able to get that kill. A phase shift used onto Rayvar was rooted, but will be okay. Able to use that that swift, no, not swift strike, that deflect to keep himself alive. But now Jägermeister will be shoving out this top side. The XP lead, despite it being 7 or 4-1 in kills, is pretty even. There is fighting in mid. Bob almost goes down. But once again, we'll be okay. Moon is right behind Bob, able to keep him fully up. Raver also gonna get rooted here, and follow-up root as well, and Raver will end up going down. Celestial Charge also lands on a Rodney. Do they have any follow-up CC or damage? Phase Shift will come out, keep Rodney alive. Dr. Intro. But in the meanwhile, Mundane Zebra once again gets pulled in under the towers. Rodney with a jet propulsion, but then the Celestial Charge will also be able to pick him back up. Mundane Zebra will be okay. Moon able to bring out so much healing during all of this. But the amount of knockbacks by Sparklark onto Mundane Zebra is starting to get pretty high up. Sparklark seems to have Mundane Zebra's number. And now Shoepuff will be the one to get caught. It should be okay. They do get the Celestial Charge on a Rodney. Sparklark in the middle of everyone, but it should be okay. Ravehorn now also joining in on the fray, dealing some damage, but it is 4v5. And another kill over onto Sparklark, and 2 bad Celestial Charge onto Ravar and Rodney. The seed is up. No tank. Ravar jumps in just to get some DPS. Will dash out. Will be okay. And they're able to clear it out. They're trying to get the seed, but they are getting interrupted. Bob trying to finish it off, and doesn't seem like we'll be interrupted again. So that's 2 seeds going over for the side of the Kirkland signature Muffins. Bob and Mundane Zebra both going to try to just clear this camp. They're going to try to push, but no, they decide against it. It didn't seem like they really had enough pressure to do that, but as Jägermeister gets interrupted with the drag. Jägermeister, very good timing onto that Shadow Charge by Sparklark. As Rodney is grouping down towards the bot side now. And Sparklark is going to overpower Jägermeister. And Jägermeister kind of caught on the wrong side of the team. Snarfungus is slowly chasing. Jägermeister is very fast when they're running into the bushes. And kind of in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what Jägermeister is trying to do, but doesn't look like they're going to be chasing. And the burrow will come out as Jägermeister gets to safety. The great escape coming out over from this Dehaka. Also able to pick up both of those health orbs. So mana and health kind of back up as the 3rd seed is spawning. But we do have a 2-on-1 on the top side. Snarfungus and Dr. Incho trying to clear out both of this camp, and also DPS on a Mundane Zebra. And Mundane Zebra is taking a lot of damage. Level 10s on both sides. The water elemental does get cleared out. But Jägermeister's also here. Gonna get the drag onto Snarfungus. And a lot of damage onto both sides. Mundane Zebra just barely able to survive. Dragon Arrow also comes in, but Ravar will be the one to tank it. And still trying to DPS. Mundane Zebra also gonna go down here. So that's a 1-for-1 at the end of the day, but that's still a 3-on-2 for the bot side in favor of Kirkland Signature. So they are going to be able to zone them off a little bit. The seed is still here. Phase Shift will come out, so Rodney is now going to be here with Dr. Intro. Leap of Faith going to stop Bob from taking too much damage. Very well-timed ability there. This fort's very low, but Sparklark trying to get behind and is able to. Moon gonna get Shadow Charged on. Light Bomb onto 3. Bunker will prevent at 1. And the Lightning Breath on top of everyone. Breathes very hot and heavy onto everyone, and will be able to get that kill onto the Anduin. But it's still only the 1 kill. A lot of ultimates expended, but Kirkland Signature Muffins do not have any ultimates left on their side. And will try to follow up into Jägermeister. Jägermeister gonna get Polymorph. Shadow Charge in on Jägermeister. No HP, nowhere to go, and that'll be yet another kill going over the side of Roddy's Imaginary Friends. So now the 3rd seed does look like it will not give the Garden Terrors over for Kirkland Signature Muffins. Mundane Zebra trying to run away. Should be okay. Just going to take a lot of damage. However, the overpower does come out. But nope. Mundane Zebra has Moon right behind and will be able to get healed up. And interestingly enough, they did go with the Wrath of the Anguirus. Rodney taking a lot of damage and a root over on a Sparklark. And they still haven't taken this seed. Bob has been able to stay on top of it as the Wrath of the Anguirus into the Light Bomb combo. So much damage under the root into the Celestial Charge. And they're going to be able to take down this Blaze. And now Sparklark tries to go in, but it may be caught in the back line. Lots of roots. Bob able to keep so much damage and sustain. And they're just going to body block Sparklark in the middle of everyone. And that's going to be a 2nd kill going over for Kirkland Signature Muffins. But Rodney's Imaginary Friends were able to cap the objective in time. They will lose their bruiser count for this, but they don't need to worry about the terrors yet. It's still 2-1, 13-12 in terms of levels, so a little bit of a talent advantage. I don't think it's really going to end up mattering. Not enough time to really pressure anything, and 13 is hit now by Rodney's imaginary friends. Bob gonna try and take down these little cannon towers, just get a little bit more XP, a little bit more lane pressure. Won't amount to too much. As Ravar gets rooted, uses the deflect, trying to jump over the wall, but seems like it was either on cooldown or Ravar really trying to play the limits there. And now the ultimate is thrown down by Bob, will prevent the Ford from really doing anything. But no real pressure, just gonna finish clearing out that wall. And I've never cast an Arthas before, so that is going to be a summon Syndra Ghost of... I didn't know what the name could be, but I definitely didn't think it was going to be that, so... I'm sure there's some lore reasons, maybe someone will be able to tell me in chat, but... And pause number 2. I wonder what's in the oven now. But I'm going to take the time to look through the talents. I did see earlier Hyper Shift level 1 on Brightwing. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know too much about any talents or any abilities. I'm not even sure what that really talks about, but increase polymorph range by 30, so it is the greater polymorph. 33 stacks for the souls for the Diablo. And looks like Snar Fungus is about to unlock that ice block. Just needs a little bit more damage. Should be very easy to bring that out during the next team fight. Or even just during random lane exchanges. Now I'm going to turn chat back on. Spark, Rage Quit. Child probably attacked their outer again. So looks like it will be a little bit of a longer pause for now. So we're just going to wait together. How's everyone doing this fine evening? I am kind of glad that they do have the rule for the 1 hour 45 between casts, because I do have another cast starting at 8. Hopefully this pause isn't too long, and I am able to do both series. I still have 1 hour. But may as well chill right now. Yeah, if you're not part of the NGS Patreon and it is something you're interested in, definitely be sure to sign up for the NGS Patreon. If you're just enjoying this stream, you're not following any specific team, you want to just watch NGS streams, be sure to leave a follow. I am streaming pretty much every single day. Tomorrow I have yet another double cast. In fact, let me check what teams I'll be casting tomorrow. So for tomorrow, I will be casting Division B East, Protectors of Ayer versus Leoric Jenkins, and Unleash the Kraken versus Rooster Pizza WBP from Division E. And then in an hour, I will also be casting Bork Side of the Moon versus Bunker Funtime for Division B West. So we're going to continue these casts, and we're going to keep pushing hard for this. Doubleheader, that's brave. I've continued my doubleheader streak. This is going to be my 3rd doubleheader. I really enjoy them. I don't know why, but I just... Whenever I cast, I'm sure you can hear it, especially during some of these team fights, I get a lot of energy. And it's really hard to get rid of it when it's only one series for me. Unless it's like something like a best of 5, which I'm yet to cast, but very much looking forward to if I can later on this season. Hopefully if I can do some of the playoffs or some of the finals. But yeah, looks like they are coming back now, so should be okay soon. But yeah, no, if I don't do a double cast, I end up having way too much energy and I don't fall asleep till midnight. So I need that second game to kind of like drain me of all this energy. Just watching these NGS games gets me really hyped up. I love competition. I've always enjoyed watching teams competing with each other. I enjoy watching who's able to win, seeing who plays better, all the different strategies they come up. And you don't get that in solo queue, as the pause has been finished and they're resuming the game. Currently fighting over onto the seed, and Moon is trying to cap it and will be able to Spark Blast, able to prevent it just in time. And Lightning Breath in the middle of everyone from behind, and there is nowhere to go for the side of Kirkland Signature Muffins, as 2 kills will go down. Moon is being attacked by Jägermeister, but the Curse of Angier is trying to throw them down into the tower, but won't be able to. Ice block able to be used. The bunker is still available for them, but now that's going to dissipate. And now in the meanwhile, Rodney and Rave are both going to fight, and they do jump onto this poor moon, onto the Anduin. And Shoepuff also having to run away. And Monday Zebra 1v4, I believe. But no, we'll use that Celestial Charge to get over the wall. And Sonar Fungus is going to be able to just collect this seed. And now it's 2-2. And Ravar also manages to get another kill over the backside. And 11-8 in kills for Rodney's imaginary friends. But they did lose their bot side forward in the meanwhile. They were able to get a lot of pressure with that siege camp that... Or sorry, not with the siege camp, with the bruiser camp that they were able to steal away during that last fight. Now they're going to have that natural pressure coming out on the bot side, but also unfortunately for them, the 5th seed will be in the center of the map, but it's also going to be on the bot side. So, and what that means is that Rodney's imaginary friends, they're not going to be pulled over to the opposite side of the map trying to clear that out. They can contest the seed and contest this wave at the same time. So that little bit of a push advantage that they could have been able to get will not amount to much just due to the location of the seed. As both sides now grouping up for the last seed. It is level 16s on both sides. The Jet Propulsion will go off to the side. Shadow Charge will go in into the overpower. Mundane Zebra will get picked up by Curse of the Angiers. But still Mundane Zebra alone under the fort, but still not enough safety. Dragon Arrow will go over through the side, but it's 4 on 5. Summon something. I don't even remember this name. I don't know who you're summoning. Syndra Rosa. I can't even say that correctly when I'm reading it. But anyway, in the meanwhile, Jägermeister will take down this top lane fort, and that'll give them a little bit of pressure. And I think they're giving up onto this seed, and what they're going to try and do instead is just force these waves away so that they're able to kind of delay when everything crashes. They're just going to be clearing out. DH Bob going to be okay. Weird little bit of a run there by Rodney with a Jet Propulsion. Shubo takes a lot of damage. DH Bob just barely able to get away in time. Jägermeister also taking a lot of DPS. And the amount of damage coming out right now from Sonar Fungus is ridiculous. She's able to land so many of those hits. And just keeping everyone low really prevents them from doing any aggressive play. She has the range, and she's able to get a lot of DPS coming in the meanwhile. And now they're going to be hitting onto this fort. Just a little bit of a siege, but it does seem like the Garden Terror will go down pretty quickly. They should be able to finish off this mid lane tower. No fight seems to be coming out. Neither side's really interested. As they say that, Sparkler goes in, able to get the Shadow Charge. Water Elemental also coming out from Sonar Fungus. Getting onto the root onto Bob, but won't be able to land anything. The Curse of the Angiers does end up missing. The Dragon Arrow hitting onto everyone. Mundane Zebra also getting jumped on. And every ability used and no kills going over for either side. The bot side is going to be taken down. They did lose their fort here, but it was very low to begin with. So that's the mid fort and the bot fort. They still have one more Terror left on the top side. Not a lot of HP. A Sparkler getting spotted by Jägermeister will get the dragon. In fact, they're going to just throw everything onto this Diablo, and Diablo does go down. But now they're going to have the Jet Propulsion on it too. DH Bob trying to survive, but in the meanwhile, they're able to take down that poor little everyone. Now Shopuff also going to be getting jumped on by Ravar. Ravar able to get yet another kill. The Oil Slick thrown down by Rodney. Not going to be enough. Jägermeister will get the drag. Do they have the follow-up? And Dr. Intro is going to get stuck. Bunker thrown out, but not in time. And they're able to get a pick out of what started off as a very bad play for them. It was in a very bad situation, but they're able to make it work. And now they're continuing with it. They're also getting a lot of damage onto Rodney. Rodney is going to be getting healed in the back. And in the meanwhile, Moon gets taken down. Jägermeister also going to be chased down. Snarfungus and Rovar. Snarfungus is low on mana, though. It's important to note that, but that'll be it. All three forts will go down for the side of Rodney's imaginary friends. And they were able to pressure so much out of that fight. With the use of those Garden Terrors, I believe they're called, they were able to get all three forts. And just like that, the wave pressure is not only nullified, it is in their favor. XP still very even for both sides. Both low 19s should hit level 20 at around the same time, though there are a few more camps to be taken for the side of Rodney's imaginary friends. But all in all, both sides should have it for the seed fight. I expect both sides will try to get it before they arrive for the seed fight. And it does take some time to clear out those little seedlings, and also get the waves in a state where you even want to contest for the seed. As we are going to watch Jägermeister slowly finish off this wave and this camp. Level 20 hit for Rodney's Imaginary Friends. And level 20 hit for Kirkland Signature Muffins. So almost exact same timing. But the seed doesn't seem like it'll be contested at all. Kirkland Signature Muffins, no, they do not have the wave states. They do not have the pressure. And also, this is only going to be the first out of 3 seeds, since they just did spawn those terrors. So there's no need for them to really go out of position to try and fight this. But Spark Clark does want to fight. Shadow Charge onto Bob and Overpower. And 2-man stun into Lightning Breath, throwing a lot of damage on Moon. Moon taken down to half HP. Rayvar with the extra, able to get so much damage, and Moon going to be taken out of the backline. Meanwhile, Curse of the Angeries onto Snarfungus, but everyone is going down. Bob taken down back into the wall. Jägermeister trying to run away. Just run as fast as you can, Jägermeister. Your team is dead. Rodney will continue chasing. Same with Rayvar. We'll look into the bush, and in fact, Rayvar will find the drag will go down. Jet propulsion going off to the side. Stasis will be used, and just keeps running and trying to delay, but Rayvar will be able to get that kill. In the meanwhile, they're pushing over with that Bruiser Camp over into the top side, able to get the wall, and the teleport thrown on Shoopuf, and Shoopuf also going to get taken down. Just one final auto with the Brightwing, and you know what that is? That's the Magic Spit talent. 1.1 basic attack range. Would not have been able to finish off that kill without it. So, value talent. Get it every game. Don't think about it. As they are going to be pushing, and very likely going to be pushing for the end of this game. 7 seconds on the Anduin. 8 seconds on... sorry, starting to lose a little bit of breath. A lot of fighting going on this game. Moon is running in, but they were just going to be able to finish this off. Game number 2, and a domination for Rodney's Imaginary Friends. Absolutely insane series, this game. Both sides able to just deal so much damage to each other. They were both just willing to constantly fight it out. Look at the DPS numbers. Now, this may not look high, but the higher up you go into just competitive in general, especially on a large map like Gardens of Terror, where the main focus is just shoving out the waves, making sure you have good wave state. These are very high damage numbers. Genji with 11 kills, Jaina with 4, and Rayvar, I just realized, 11 and 1. So many last hits finished off by Rayvar, and just, I'm in awe. I'm speechless. Just the way they played this game. Rodney's Imaginary Friends really showing how much they can do, even against some of these top teams in the heroic division. I'm very excited to see how they're able to continue growing as a team this season, because right now they're looking really scary. But there will not be a game number 3. So, I didn't think about how I want to do this, because there is still 70 minutes. There's still 50 minutes until the next series of the day. So I'm going to quickly take a look. Is anyone else still casting? Is there someone to raid? And I do not believe so. Yeah, there's not going to be anyone to raid. So what I'm just going to do, I am going to go on a pretty decently long break. I don't want to restart the channel just because I'm part of a couple servers that ping everyone when I go live. I definitely don't want to ping everyone twice in one day. So what I will say is, if you're looking for something to do while you wait, download AFK Journey and help support this stream. But otherwise, I will be back in around 50 minutes with the second series, as we're going to be watching Bork Side of the Moon versus Bunker Fun Time. And if you want to head out, just be back by 8 o'clock Western. See you in a bit.